This is my interview with a current teacher as far as my education class, Station 126. And with me today is Mr. Mike Mullen. And I guess basically just start out, you've been teaching for how many years?
30 years now.
30 years. And you're currently teaching at the
Miami Valley Career Tech Center.
Okay. And where did you attend college at?
I graduated from the Ohio State University.
Ohio State University. What is your current subject matter that you are teaching, and what age or grade levels are you servicing?
I teach a tech prep program for juniors and seniors in high school. I teach environmental engineering. Covers everywhere from the green and brown side of the environmental industry, parks and recreation to water, wastewater, and air pollution.
Okay, very good. Who or what was your inspiration to go into the teaching field?
I was lucky enough to be a student here at the CTC, at that time the JVS, and had two really great teachers, Gary Bambauer and Ron McGuire, and always had a love for the environment, but didn't think I'd really teach until I saw what those guys do and the fun they had mixing the two together.
Okay, terrific. I guess kind of as a side note, I was one of Mr. Mullen's students back in the day.
A few years ago.
A few years ago. All right. Since this class is about technology, most of these questions are going to be aimed towards technology. The first one, over the course of your career, how has technology changed in the approach that you use in the classroom?
Well, in my classroom, when I started, we had chalkboards. Today we have the interactive whiteboards. We didn't have a single computer in the classroom. I'm not even sure we had them on campus when I started. Today each one of our students is issued a laptop computer, just like we would a textbook, that they use almost on a daily basis for word processing, web browsing, and an internal email system.
Okay. All right, very good. And you just kind of touched on it in your last question, but I know along with the whiteboards and the fact that all the students get computers, what other technology do you have available to you in the classroom, and maybe some that are more directly focused to this program that wouldn't necessarily be needed for other programs on campus, but technology for this program of environmental technology specifically?
We used to spend a great deal of money on field guides for identification purposes. Today we have a classroom set of iTouches that I sign out to my senior students, and all of those field guides are loaded on there, so they can go right out there into the Woodlot Land Laboratory, do that. Our surveying has completely changed. We began with dumpy levels and transits. Today we're total station laser units. We use handheld GPSs, digital motion cameras, all of those things for wildlife management and population studies.
Okay. So with all those different tools available, when you develop lesson plans, how does the role of technology affect in the way and the method that you're going to carry out that lesson?
Well, for me, a lot of times it begins with a training piece. It's great that I know how to use it, but do I assume the kids know how to use it? So oftentimes the unit begins with instruction on how to use it and why we're utilizing that. And then the application of, is it almost fail-safe when you have 20 different students with different capabilities utilizing that, sometimes independently without your instruction.
Okay. And you said a key word there in the capabilities part, which kind of leads me to my next couple questions. The first one, given the fact that the current students today have been exposed to technology for all their lives, cell phones, computers, whatever, in your opinion, has the school system at the lower grades done an adequate job of teaching our students how to use technology as a tool for education in life, or does there seem to be a gap in the process?
I think there's a huge gap. For kids that have grown up their entire life with computers, they all have great keyboarding skills, but that's about where it stops. I'm absolutely amazed that I get 11th graders that, when asked to edit a Word document or attach a Word document to an email, it's like it's a foreign concept. They've never seen it before. They know how to play with it, but not how to really utilize it to its fullest potential.
Okay. It's kind of interesting. In this semester, 2 of the classes that I'm taking are strictly online classes, and Edison has implemented a mandatory course for anyone taking an online class on, are you able to use a computer?
Mm-hmm.
Can you attach a file?
Right.
Can you send an email? Can you download a document? Because there was obviously a huge, like you said, that gap in there that just don't know.
I think Sinclair must have the same thing, because one of the programs that my students can take articulation credit for is an application of computers to the environmental field, and it includes the Microsoft package Word, PowerPoint, and Excel. And they've got to be able to do each of those things, and if they can, then they're articulating credit.
Okay. The last question I had here is, given the fact that you are teaching kids that are in their last 2 years of high school, in their high school careers, if you were given the opportunity to change, what key elements of technology do you believe should be taught at the elementary and middle school levels to better prepare the students in their career?
I think a big frustration of mine, particularly in a technical field, is the research skill using computers. Everything's out there, but the kids today type a word into a search engine and instantly things pop up, and they're not able to delineate what's a good website, what's a bad website, and I think they're still under the misconception that because it's on there, it must be true.
Right.
And I find that very frustrating. And then furthermore, that even through 10 years of English preparation, they still can't footnote, cite, create a bibliography to give credit where credit's due. I almost on a daily basis remind them that www.wikipedia.com is not a citation.
No, it's not a citation. No, it's not. But I did have one teacher who kind of argued that point. But he said Wikipedia is not a good place to start, or it's a good place to start, just don't cite it.
Right.
Go to the bottom of the page and find out
Sure.
who they're citing, and then go look at that stuff.
Right.
And then you might be able to utilize Wikipedia for
It should be
what it is.
almost as a web browser like they would Google or Bing or something like that. Start big.
Start big,
Then
go
move
small.
on.
Go small. Well, Mike, I appreciate your moments here to help me out with this project, and best of luck to you in your last years or so here. And
Same to you.
all right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. All right,
Very good.
thank you, sir.